The stage lights glow softly as the theater fills with anticipation. The audience is buzzing, not with wild excitement yet, but with curiosity. This is America's Got Talent, a place where dreams collide with reality, where hope walks hand in hand with fear, and where every single person who steps onto the stage believes, even for a moment, that their life might change forever. Simon Cowell sits at the judges' table, calm and observant as always. He has seen thousands of auditions. Singers, dancers, magicians, comedians, and acts so strange they defy explanation. Very little surprises him anymore. Or at least, that is what everyone believes. From the wings of the stage, a performer steps forward. At first glance, nothing seems unusual. The act is introduced with confidence, and the performer smiles, clearly nervous but trying to hide it. Simon leans back slightly in his chair, folding his arms, wearing that familiar expression that suggests he is already evaluating what he is about to see. He expects something theatrical, perhaps dramatic, maybe even a bit over the top. After all, this is America's Got Talent. Many acts rely on illusion, exaggeration, and spectacle. The music begins, and the act unfolds just as planned. The performer moves with precision, hitting every beat, every cue. The audience responds with polite applause, still unsure where this is going. Simon watches carefully, his eyes following every movement. At this point, he assumes that everything happening on stage is intentional. Part of the act, part of the show. He has seen performers fake mistakes before, pretending something has gone wrong just to shock the audience later. So when the first small sign appears, Simon barely reacts. It is subtle at first. A slight pause. A movement that seems delayed by half a second. The performer's smile flickers, just briefly, before returning. Most people in the audience do not notice it. The cameras do not zoom in yet. But Simon notices. He always does. Still, he tells himself that it must be intentional. A dramatic choice, perhaps. A way to build tension. As the performance continues, the atmosphere in the theater begins to change. The audience senses that something is different, even if they cannot explain why. The performer's breathing becomes more visible. The rhythm of the act starts to feel uneven. A move is repeated unnecessarily, as if the performer is trying to regain control. Simon leans forward slightly now, his expression more focused. His eyebrows lower, and his gaze sharpens. This is no longer casual observation. This is concern beginning to form. He glances briefly toward the other judges. They, too, seem uncertain. One judge smiles nervously, unsure whether to laugh or stay quiet. Another shifts in their seat, eyes fixed on the stage. The audience's applause fades into silence, replaced by an uneasy stillness. Everyone is watching, waiting to see what will happen next. The performer attempts to continue, pushing forward despite the growing signs of trouble. Their movements are no longer smooth. Something is clearly off. The confidence from the beginning of the act has been replaced by strain. Simon straightens up fully now, his arms unfolding, his body language signaling that this is no longer entertainment to him. This is something else entirely. For a moment, the performer stops. Just for a second. The music keeps playing, but they hesitate, as if unsure whether to go on. That is when it becomes clear. This is not part of the act. This is not planned. Something is genuinely wrong. A quiet murmur spreads through the audience. People exchange worried looks. Some lean forward, others bring their hands to their mouths. The energy in the room shifts dramatically. Simon's face changes completely. The sharp critic, the man known for his brutal honesty, is replaced by someone visibly concerned. He raises a hand slightly, as if debating whether to stop the performance. The performer tries to smile again, tries to reassure everyone without words. They take a breath and attempt to continue. But their body does not respond the way it should. A step is missed. Balance is lost for just a moment. It is enough. Simon knows now. Everyone knows. Simon presses the button to stop the act. The music cuts abruptly, echoing through the theater like a sudden silence after a storm. Gasps ripple through the audience. The performer stands still, breathing heavily, eyes wide. For a split second, it feels like time itself has stopped. Simon rises slightly from his chair, leaning toward the stage. "Are you okay?" he asks, his voice firm but filled with genuine concern. The performer hesitates before answering. The bravado from earlier is gone. What remains is honesty. They admit that something is wrong, that they are not feeling well, that they tried to push through because this moment means everything to them. Their voice trembles, not from fear of judgment, but from the realization that their dream moment is slipping away. The audience responds not with disappointment, but with empathy. Applause begins slowly, not loud or celebratory, but supportive, encouraging. It grows as more people join in, a wave of kindness filling the theater. Simon listens carefully, nodding as the performer speaks. He does not interrupt. He does not criticize. He understands something very important in this moment. This stage is about talent, yes, but it is also about people. Simon speaks again, choosing his words carefully. He acknowledges the courage it takes to step onto that stage, especially knowing that millions of people are watching. He makes it clear that no performance is worth risking someone's well-being. His tone is calm, respectful, and sincere. This is not the Simon Cowell many people expect to see, but it is the Simon Cowell that moments like this reveal. The other judges add their voices, offering support and encouragement. They remind the performer that this setback does not define them. That one interrupted performance does not erase years of hard work or talent. The performer listens, visibly emotional, nodding as tears form in their eyes. They had come to prove something, and instead, they are being reminded of something even more important. The host steps onto the stage, gently guiding the situation with professionalism and care. The performer is escorted off stage to receive attention, and the audience rises to their feet in a standing ovation. Not because the act was flawless, but because the human spirit on display is undeniable. As the camera is cut back to the judges, Simon exhales deeply, shaking his head slightly. He looks thoughtful, reflective. Later, in a backstage interview, he explains that even after all these years, moments like this still affect him. He admits that at first, he truly believed it was part of the act. A clever twist. But when he realized it was real, everything changed. He talks about responsibility. About knowing when to stop being a judge and start being a human being. He emphasizes that talent shows are not just about applause and buzzers, but about supporting people who dare to chase their dreams in front of the world. The episode becomes one of the most talked about moments of the season. Clips circulate online, with viewers praising Simon for his response and the judges for their compassion. Many comment on how refreshing it is to see genuine care in a high-pressure environment. Others share their own stories of pushing through difficult moments, inspired by the honesty of what they witnessed. The performer, after taking time to recover, later shares an update. They express gratitude for the support they received, not only from the judges but from viewers around the world. They explain that while the moment did not go as planned, it taught them something invaluable about listening to their body and valuing themselves beyond a single performance. In time, they return to the stage. Stronger, more confident. This time, the performance goes smoothly, and the talent that was always there finally gets its chance to shine. Simon watches with a small smile, remembering that first audition, the moment when he thought it was all part of the act, only to realize how wrong he was.